and away we go.
This is the Bikers Lifestyle Podcast. I'm Dirty.
I'm Tank. How's everybody today?
Today we have
Well, sorry. Yeah,
we have Gopher.
all we got is your head. You're leaning back because he's all fucking cool. Like.
He's our unofficial guest for today.
I'm Gopher, but I don't go for cheap.
Go for anything. But and this is a podcast about nothing. This is the Seinfeld podcast.
Seinfeld.
I have zero topic in mind. I'm just here.
Well, we had a guest lined up.
We did, and at the 0 hour he bailed. So
Dog ate his homework.
ate his homework.
Had a flat tire. Some shit happened.
So
whatever.
The show must go on, and here we are.
Stepped in a puddle and got a wet foot.
So as you know, brothers, I've been spending some time down Florida this winter.
Yeah.
Had to come up for my dad's funeral.
Yeah.
But God, it sucks in the wintertime up here with that fucking snow and ice on the ground.
Yeah, no, it's no fun whatsoever.
Because I was riding just last Friday, and I ain't rubbing it in, brothers, but...
I haven't seen my driveway in like a month and a half. It's just snow because I don't shovel it all the way. But
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's winter. It's Wisconsin. You eat it. You deal with it.
I had to throw some salt on mine because plowing snow.
Yeah.
I never do mine.
I mean,
I'm in and out of the house so much, I never have a chance.
Oh, it's like a mechanic's motorcycle is always the shittier bike because the last thing he wants to do when he gets home is work on his own shit,
Well, I mow yards for a living in the summertime, and my yard usually gets about that tall before
They can't see you.
Oh, yeah. So a
Yeah.
foot. It goes to seed before I mow it.
Imagine a foot. That's how tall it is. Yeah.
But up here, people get a little pent up, don't they?
Yeah, it gets weird in the wintertime.
It gets weird up here in the wintertime, man,
Cabin
not being
fever.
able to... Cabin fever.
Cabin fever.
And I see it happen on our page, too.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, wintertime, people get riled up real fucking easy, super fucking quick.
Yeah.
You have more fights on a Sunday in Hammies than you do during the week.
It's
in the
usually the
wintertime.
women, though, not the men. I think the girls fight more at Hammies, don't they?
Yeah, bar
Oh,
fights
yeah.
happen more in the wintertime, for sure. It never fails. Sitting around.
I'm always telling people, man, it's too goddamn cold to go outside and fight.
Yeah.
That's why we stay inside and fight. No. But no, it's what else are you going to do? When your whole deal is riding motorcycles and it's, getting out there in these and the breeze, and then you can't do it for 4 or 5 months. And I'm not going to pretend like I'm one of them psychos that wants to go riding when it's 20 below zero
Oh,
outside.
hell
And
no.
fuck that. I don't do any of that shit.
Nope.
You don't have the heated underwear?
I don't know.
The heated dress, the heated vest?
Ever since I broke my neck, man, anything under 50 degrees, by the time I get back from that ride, I ain't,
Yeah.
I'd be the unsafest guy out there because I'd be like, where'd he go?
Yeah.
Where'd he go?
Oh, yeah, I got shitbox knees. Anything under 40 degrees and I'm fucking hobbling.
Mm-hmm.
But we got listeners out there, hopefully, but we got people on our page, I know, that
All three of them.
all three of them. Well, we have some fans. Yeah, that's right. A fan. Our
Yep.
fan. But it's a different scene. It's a different biker scene down in Florida, man.
Yeah. No,
It's a lot more chill.
I watch a lot of YouTube videos, like Shade Tree Surgeon, and he's actually somewhat by you. He's like in the Ybor City, Tampa area,
Yeah, okay, yeah.
and
It's a little north of me.
he'll put out a video once or twice a week, and it's him and his buddies bombing around, going to bars, doing all sorts of crazy shit. And it's January,
Yeah.
I binge watch the shit out of that guy's channel in the wintertime because it's almost like I'm going along for a ride. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's the shit I'd be doing, But, wintertime, you just figure out a hobby. My hobby is trying to put my bike back together, usually every year, because I have to tear it apart and fix something. That's a pretty good hobby to have in winter, fix the bike. That's why I would say probably the Midwest, you'll see a lot of cooler bikes come out in the spring because
I ain't got nothing else to do.
you got nothing else to do, and you can't, it's okay to have the bike down for 2-3 months because you can't ride it anyways because it's cold as fuck outside.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it gets cold. It gets cold in Florida.
Well, yeah, all the way down into the 50s. Ooh,
No. We hit like 42 one day. It was terrible.
holy shit.
Oh my God! I
Wow.
survived it. It was 2 days long.
I'm looking forward to the 41-degree day that they're calling for next week. I'm like,
Oh, okay, 41 in the wintertime in Wisconsin. People are barbecuing in shorts.
Oh, yeah.
I would have taken the bike out if it was put back together.
Yeah,
But, you know, it is what it is.
it is what it is, man. My cold weather days are long gone too. I'm with you, brother. On
I
that.
seen a snowstorm once in Atlanta City, or Atlanta, Georgia, and boy, I tell you what, 148 car pileup.
Well, they got like one plow for the whole state. You know, I mean,
right? And it was being borrowed out already.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, right.
I went to Kentucky once, and it was like November, December, and it started snowing in Indiana, and it's amazing how people just one state down have no idea how to drive
Oh, yeah?
when
Yep.
it comes to snow. Just they lose their goddamn minds. They're either trying to do the exact same speed that they were doing when it was dry out and they're crashing their shit, or they're going 10 miles an hour on the fucking interstate.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
So
Yeah, and Indiana is just flat, so you get nothing but whiteouts
yeah.
every time it snows.
So Gopher, tell us a cool truck driving story.
I was shifting gears one time,
Yeah.
That'll happen when you drive a
and
truck.
then there was a red light, and I had to put it in neutral.
You want to talk about lot leathers real quick? or-
Yeah, just watch out for them lot lizard skin boots. They'll suck the socks off your feet.
Really?
Yep.
Nice.
He's just, yep. Oh, what do you
Yeah.
call a lot lizard with a mattress strapped to her back?
No idea.
An owner-operator.
Nice. Nice.
See how I did that?
Yeah,
Nice.
A
that
lot
sounds
lizard
good.
and
Yeah.
a truck driving story.
It
All right,
all-
everybody,
it's
that
all-
was Gopher. It was nice to have him here today. All right, we'll see you later, okay?
Layers,
Yeah,
layers.
yeah.
Yep.
No, that's actually, you know what? Because I'm a welder for a living. I'll tell you right now, I am seriously considering becoming a truck driver.
Don't.
Why?
Because when I started truck driving over 30 years ago now, it was a different world.
Yeah,
Now, you see the new generation of drivers in cars, right?
right.
Okay, same number of new generation of drivers that have never driven a truck before. It's the same problem. I mean, there's no camaraderie out there no more. There's no, I mean, you got people that can't even speak fucking English.
Right.
You know? I mean, you can't, you know, you got too many big companies out there. They're all, you know, worried about their bottom line, not yours. The rules and regulations out there, I mean, shit, you can't make any money. You're making $13 an hour on an average if you add up all your hours that you're away from home.
Well, no, I hear you.
You know, and no, it's not that fun anymore. It's not. It's a worse headache than working at a 9 to 5.
Well, here's why I bring it up. Because I notice a lot of bikers also drive truck. It seems to be bikers and truck drivers.
You know,
They
That's true.
they meet up a lot.
Yeah.
There are a lot of bikers that are truck drivers, and I mean, it kind of makes sense. You know, if you enjoy the open road on 2 wheels, then for a job, you might as well jam down the same road on 18 wheels and get paid for it.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, but you know, I hear what you're saying. I've heard the same story. A lot of foreigners coming over here, and you know, and companies aren't paying what they used to. They're more stringent. The laws are crazier than ever.
Yeah, you can only
Yeah.
drive so many hours a day.
Well,
and
and
you
see,
gotta
that's
log
what
that
screws you up.
logbook
I
and
mean,
shit, and-
you could be 2 hours from home, an hour from home, and when your truck now, because you have electronic logbook that
shuts
you
down,
know,
right?
Yeah, your truck will tell you, you know, hey, you got such and such how much time to get shut down. There's a truck stop, you know, so many miles away, blah, blah, blah. You're an hour from home. No, I'm going home. But that truck won't let you.
Now, is that just with the bigger outfits, or is that with?
Mostly, yeah.
Yeah.
But there's trying to, you know, narrow it down. I believe it's anything under 15 trucks does not have to have any of that hooked up.
Oh,
So owner-operators, you know, but if you're leased on with a bigger company,
right.
you have to have that in your truck.
And
even
more
though
than
you own
likely,
it.
starting out, you're going to be, you know, leased on to a bigger company driver. So,
But yeah, and then you just become a number.
well, yeah, but it's not like working in a factory is any better.
Well, at least they see your face every day. You know,
They'll still shook can you though. Trust me.
Oh yeah, but I mean, they still know who you are. I mean,
Yeah,
these
well,
bigger
yeah.
companies, you call in on the phone,
Yeah.
and you could talk to this girl 5 times a week, and she won't know who you are
Right.
Yeah.
until you tell her your time card number. or
But as
whatever.
long as that check clears,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
So, so we're talking about you in 18 wheels. Let's talk about you in 2. How old were you when you first got on a bike?
6.
What
Five-
was it?
5 on a 3-wheeler, 6 on a.
With
it
them
was,
balloon, the 3-wheel with the balloon tires that we
Yep.
all like took
Yep.
diggers on turns.
oh yeah, I remember the first time I took
Oh,
a
yeah.
corner and put my foot out.
Can't go more than 4 miles an
do
hour when
that.
turning it. Yeah.
That thing will rip you right off that thing. It was a 50 Trail Boss, I think. Honda?
Yeah.
The big red machine or whatever the fuck they were
Yep,
called, or
yep.
big red 10, I think. Or
It was,
it had some weird thing.
It was my cousin's, and they used to live out on a farm.
Had them
and
funky tires on it.
Yeah.
I took a digger 5 feet and never did again.
Well,
So
when
what was the first motorcycle? Was it a dirt bike?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I have
What's the first street bike you remember?
440. The first one I bought, and it was absolutely mine, was a 440 Kawasaki. It was an 86, so I had the 6-speed, but it was
Wow.
chain driven, not belt.
Yeah, because
Wow.
you were on sport bikes when I met you. I think you had that Gixxer you had.
Yep.
Well, the 440, that's a cruiser, ain't it?
No,
440
well,
LTD.
it was an LTD, so it was more of the sporty cruiser style.
Well, what year was that?
It was an 86.
Yeah, see, it was right around when they were transitioning
Yeah.
over to that crotch rocket style. So
And then I had, after that one, I went to a Suzuki GS 650, and that's what sold me on Suzukis. I mean,
Yeah.
they had the handling characteristics,
Oh,
just
man.
not the looks and the style.
whether it be a quad or whether it be a bike, Suzuki's always been just so ahead of their time as far as that feel goes.
Yeah, until the transmission goes, then you're fucked.
Yeah, but that's why you don't see too many Suzukis out there for sale, man.
No, I know.
You know, that's what my dad always said. You know, you always buy something that's not for sale. You see a ton of Polaris out there, but you don't see too many Suzukis. You know,
We're gonna bash on Polaris now. You just
Well,
The Indian's the best motorcycle ever that just got made.
I'll have to ponder on that one for a minute.
Yeah,
But,
whatever.
so
There's this thing on the internet. It's called Facebook. And on Facebook, there's these things called motorcycle groups. And apparently, everybody loves Indians now.
oh. And they just started making them?
Yeah, well, I mean,
I never heard of them.
obviously they're the best.
Now, I will tell you, my first Harley was in between that Kawasaki and that Suzuki.
Yeah, what
It
was
was
the first Harley?
It was an old Ironhead
Oh,
900.
nice.
So it's probably a 900, so it's probably, what, 77, 78?
76 or
Yeah,
77.
because I think around 79, I think was the first year of the thousands.
Yeah. This one still had
Maybe 78.
This one still had the gears on the right.
I'm wrong,
Goofy
I know,
foot,
but,
yeah.
you know.
I always
Oh,
wanted
okay.
to switch the throttle over to the left.
Well, Goofy Foot's pre-73.
I think.
73, it was mandated by the NTSB.
Oh.
Was it?
Yeah.
Well, maybe this was a 73 then, because I remember it had the right
Yeah,
thing.
that would be that would be right about this. You know, there's our 3 listeners right now, you know, are
Find it out in the comments. amongst
no
yourselves.
shit. Go on the Facebook page.
Wasn't
let us
it,
all know.
wasn't
how
it
much we're
Triumph
wrong.
that had the left throttle and the hand clutch on the right side?
Well, Triumph's had a goofy scenario too, but you know, England and other things on the wrong side, anyways.
All right.
But like, as far as like a hand shifter, I mean, I don't know how many different motorcycle companies had hand shifters and try to figure out what, you know.
It only sticks out in my
Royal
mind because I
Enfield.
watched some movie where this kid's never even been on a motorcycle. He was on a mini bike. That was it.
Yeah.
And so he had to learn how to ride a motorcycle for that movie.
Mm,
And that's what they gave him to learn on.
I remember Bull Tacos had the shifter on the other foot.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think Bull Tacos is a Swedish bike, I believe.
Yeah. So
I've always actually really liked Moto Guzzi. or Moto Guzzo, whatever
The
hell
Italian
it's-
ones there.
Yeah, I mean,
Moto
it,
Guzzi.
you know, that's kind of a Ducati, you know, kind of what Ducati started
You
out
look at sitting
from,
on them though, the way that motor is with that air, it seems like it would really impede on your legs.
but it's
you know,
supposed to be like the
weird
most
looking.
ultimate design. I mean,
That's what they said
Italians
about
have always
BMW, you
had
know?
great cafe bikes.
Well, that's what they say about the BMWs.
See, that's just
they're
one bike I
supposedly-
can't get into.
They're supposed, because of the way
I
that
can't get into the looks
it's
of
set
them.
up.
but
It's supposed to have such a nice low center of gravity. It's supposed to just handle like fucking magic.
That's what I hear. Yeah, I've read. Yeah.
I know everybody that I've ever talked to that finally broke down and bought one will never buy another bike.
but what, a Beamer?
Yep.
Yeah, dude,
But
them guys are crazy. Man.
I can't bring myself to do it.
Dude, them boys, fucking snow tires, fucking they're probably out there riding right now, laughing at us. Fucking Harley guys won't do this shit.
Right.
I don't know. I met a 1%er at an A-Bait camp out a few years back who was from Minnesota.
Yeah,
Had big knobby tires on his Harley.
yeah.
He rode year round too. So
No, a different breed. I can't do it, man.
no, why would you want to? Right?
I,
That's why they have heaters in cars. I don't know.
I've done it.
I've done it too. I don't need to prove anything else to myself.
I did it on that 440, man. Transmission in my car. I was a kid, you know.
Yeah.
My transmission in my car was
Oh, yeah.
blown up. I had no money. Guess who was out there in a snowmobile suit riding back and forth to work on a little 440?
Yeah, you just
I
Put
can't.
it
I can't even say. I was a kid. Last year, me and a brother were fucking out riding around the day after Christmas. It started out, it was 41 degrees. When I got home, it was like 29. But
it was you and Patrick, wasn't it?
yeah,
Yeah. The guy was supposed to be here tonight. Yeah.
yeah.
Asshole.
The last year, Oli, we all rode. Yeah, you guys rode out there too. Remember, we all rode out to. Did we go to Vegas Club? And then we
Oh,
rode back.
yeah.
When we rode back, man, it was like 32 degrees, man.
Oh, it was fucking raining.
And yeah, and
It
so
sounds like the old Frosty Balls.
well, I look
Yeah.
over at Oli, and Oli's got his hood up, and he looked like that Kenny off of
Yeah,
South
South Park. Yeah,
right now. He's just shivering too. That was when he bought that breakout.
yeah,
So
Yeah.
he's just shivering.
yeah. You got to do whatever you got to do to survive, man.
Well, you have nothing to hide behind on now. Well, you
No.
had the Dyna then.
Yeah, I had
too.
Dinah. I didn't have nothing to hide behind either.
Right. Damn.
Just eat shit the entire way.
Yeah,
Right.
you don't realize how truly retarded you are
Right.
until you're out in the elements on a motorcycle.
Everybody wants to look cool as fuck,
Yeah.
riding around in their scooter until
No
it gets
shit.
cold, and you don't give a fuck what you look like. Give me all the helmets, all the giant mittens. I don't care. Wrap me up in an Afghan. I don't care.
I want an Arctic.
I don't give a fuck
Fox.
what I look like. I just want to be warm. I
Yeah.
hear you.
I want to get an Arctic Fox hat.
Yeah,
One of them
Yeah.
great big, man, they just look so warm.
like one of them Russian hat
yep,
things. Yeah.
yep.
Probably have to strap it down though, otherwise it fall off.
I was talking that Zach ride that we did. There was a
Yeah.
Oh, in
couple
March
guys
last
that,
year.
that
Yeah.
had them, and I talked to them about it, and they said there is a strap
Oh, nice.
from the inside.
I got to
But-
say that
so-
that ride, shortest ride ever that raised the most money. There, we should have gone into the Guinness Book of World Records on that.
Yeah.
It was raised a ton of money for that kid,
We are doing
but
a
it was
memorial
it was
party.
like a mile and a half. I think it was like 1.7 miles
Yeah.
from,
Yeah.
bar,
Close to
from
2
bar to bar.
Yep.
Yeah.
5,000 plus bikes.
I know
Yeah,
about
it's-
the time
it's
we
pretty good.
started actually going.
So
5
the
minutes.
pack, the pack was in.
What 3 minutes later we're slowing down because we're the lead's already at the stop sign.
Well, yeah,
It's like-
because the pack was in at the table, and it was still leaving at Happy Hollow there.
yeah, there was a lot of people.
Yeah,
But
that
we-
was
there is a party being planned.
Oh, good.
A memorial party
for a good cause.
that we're
I mean,
involved.
Good,
in.
good,
Yeah.
good.
So
So, yeah.
so yeah, there's that.
There is that.
There is that.
I don't know
Oh.
where to go from there, but we'll figure it out real quick. You guys see that new fucking ad that Harley had about nobody ever put a Polaris up on their bedroom wall
Yeah,
and dreamt about
yeah.
that? What do you think about that? What do you think about that? Harley throwing some shade at Polaris.
Oh, no kidding.
See, I don't know. I think it's going to backfire on him. I think if once Harley starts talking shit like that,
Well,
Well, they've made such sound decisions lately.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
with the
Well, you
electric
know,
motorcycle.
Harley Davidson is the American-made bike, and Polaris could throw that right back into their face because Victory is the only bike that everything is 100% made right here.
I would
In
have
the
to fact-
beginning.
I would have to fact check that.
In
but
the beginning, towards the end, it was about 80%.
all things are
Right.
factual on the Bikers Lifestyle podcast page. Don't
They-
Google it. Just
See,
take our word
I
for
didn't know. I
All
didn't even
factual.
know back then. I didn't even know Victory
You're
was.
right. You're
I
right.
didn't even know Victory was part of Polaris until I read that, and I'm like reading it, and here it's a metric
Well,
bike.
do you know the story behind them?
That's a
Well,
metric bike.
I know it is. I own one.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So
you-
I figured you'd know exactly. what
You
I'm talking
you
about.
wrench it in metric, but
No.
the guys that started Victory were from Harley,
Hmm.
and they were engineers. They left Harley and they waited their 5 years for or however many, waited out the no competition clause that they had from Harley, and
Oh, right.
they designed the motor was a V92C is what it was, and they just tried to do some things different from the Harley motor, and
What was the first one they made? Vegas or something like
well, it
that.
was a V92C. I don't know what they called it, but the Vegas 8-ball I think was their most popular.
Yeah.
But,
I almost bought one of those before the Dyna.
Well,
they're a
Vegas.
nice looking bike.
They're
I
a
mean,
nice looking bike, man.
They're just
You know
not. They're just not a torque machine like.
They're just not a Harley though,
They-
so
They don't sound well.
the only thing
That's
I've
because
noticed.
the
Yeah.
pistons are opposed at
I know.
50%. You know, and so it makes a different noise.
It
The,
does.
the one thing that I've always noticed though too is like the chrome and the stators are just not the greatest. Maybe in the earlier models.
Well, the stator in a Harley is deep down in the guts. The stator on the Victory is on the outside of the primary cover.
Okay.
And so
it
to change the
takes more
stator
of
out,
a,
you
takes more
just
of a
go-
beating.
it's
or-
like plug and play for it to change a stator out in a Victory.
Right.
I know when I had my old 1978 GS 750, one of the upgrades was to get rid of the rectifier and the oh god damn it, now I'm fucking having a brain fart. What's the thing that helps the the regulator and the rectifier? They're two separate units on the old Suzukis.
Wrecked him.
Okay.
Damn near killed him.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, what are you trying to say?
Right, I know, wrecked.
Yeah, whatever. Technology. But one of the upgrades was to get a Polaris rectifier regulator combo and wire that into your bike, and it's supposed to be just amazing. So apparently they got that going for them.
Right.
Well, I just want to back up for a second. I just want to say something controversial because far be it from us not to leave something on the table.
Yeah, what's up?
No, I just did any of the Victory bashers out there, say what you want, but have you ridden one? That's all. So just ride one and then make your choice.
I have a firm
I-
belief that I can get my jollies on any fucking motorcycle.
Thank
oh
you.
yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
They
you.
all got their own qualities. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, Suzuki, the M109R. I'll tell you what, man, that is one badass V-twin.
Yeah.
Right from the get-go. The only thing you need to change on that is the exhaust. That's it. Right
Yeah.
front.
You
I mean,
know,
it's got a 220 rear. It's based off of the Hayabusa, but it's a bagger, and it's got tons of torque and tons of horsepower.
I'd love to take a rocket out, a Triumph rocket, just to see what the hell
Sure.
that thing does. I'd like to try out the Boss Hoss there, the
I-
Boss Hog or whatever the fuck that V10 thing is,
Yeah, I
or V8 or whatever it
Yeah,
is.
it's
you
got
know?
what is that? That's the V.
like a Chevy motor on it.
It's
You
got
know,
a
you sit on
350
it.
small block or a 502 big block.
All
Can
I
you
know-
imagine strapping onto a fucking 502.
it's just pointless.
All I know is I was on a poker run.
I wouldn't mind having one for their fucking trike.
I was on a poker run for A-Bait, and I was next to a guy that had one of those with
Yeah.
the gas tank that's about this
Yeah,
big,
they're
you know.
fucking ungodly.
And we're going along at about 55 miles an hour, and he says, "Watch this." And he hits the gas and like lays rubber, just by going like that. I was like, "What the fuck, man?"
Right.
If you go down the rabbit hole of fucking YouTube, you'll see guys with like LS motors, the new Chevy motor, the LS motor with turbos on them, and they're going down the interstate and they're just fucking frying a tire at 85. I mean, it's a gimmicky bike. I would never want one. Although, there's still like, okay, I believe that everybody has like certain bikes that they want to get that they'll probably never get because they can never justify actually going out and getting them because it's just sort of like a, I want it, but do I really want to
But
spend
it's
the
their
money?
dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if I ever won the lottery
If
speech.
I
Right,
won,
right, right.
yeah.
Like, I would love to have a KZ1000. An old school KZ1000, like Mad Max
I
fucking
had,
KZ1000.
That's
I had a
Keanu Reeves' bike of choice. From
I
what
had a
understand.
900.
Is it?
I believe so. Yeah, maybe it might
Keanu
be
Reeves makes a pretty fucking
Arch
awesome
motorcycles.
Arch.
They're
Those-
using that SNS 144.
Yeah, it's fucking badass bikes.
I
Yeah,
used
if
to
you
have
got
a-
82,000, they'll make one perfect for you.
I had a 70.
No, they are badass, man.
I think it was a 77 900
Yeah.
KZ. Man, that thing was just.
I had a 650.
That was wicked fast.
They always, I heard it, I don't know who the fuck told me this. or-
Silly, stupid fast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
heard
just
this.
a big. I mean, now I know why they call them an iron bike. It's just a big hunk of fast iron. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I always heard that Kawasaki made the like outrageous bikes. Like, I would kill myself on an H2, the supercharged fucking Cowie bike,
Yep.
the whatever ungodly amount of fucking horsepower it makes. But Kawasaki makes like batshit crazy motorcycles, right? Even the old H2 that was a two-stroke, fastest bike made back then. Suzuki is like a close second. They're not as fast and as crazy, but they're right there. And then Honda just figures out how to make everything super affordable and makes a million of them.
Well, Honda figures out where all you have to do is add oil. It'll never blow up.
Yeah. And Yamahas are just for nerds.
All right. That's where they test
All the
out-
Warrior people are mad now.
Yeah,
Wow,
well,
you just pissed- I was gonna say you just pissed off
Yamaha
an
is where
entire
they
group of
test
people.
out the turn signals.
Dislike. What?
Yamaha is where they test out the turn signals.
I had,
Although-
Yamaha has that patented turn signal. They talk about that.
I had a Delta Box
Well-
technology
well,
motorcycle.
I have, well, no,
That's what they hang their hat on. We got
The
this turn
Banshee.
signal, man.
the Banshee,
Yeah.
that is one that Yamaha can put down in the books that if you don't know anything about them, you know about that.
Well,
I'll say this
because
right now.
they're
probably-
VMAX.
VMAXs are probably one of the
Yeah.
best bikes ever fucking made
Yeah.
across the board.
I was gonna say, yeah.
You want to talk
VMAX.
cruiser? VMAX. You want to talk sport bike? Well, fucking VMAX.
Just all around
Oh, yeah, I agree. Oh, yeah.
performance wise,
Damn good
money.
bike.
It's a
Yep.
damn good bike. Yep.
You know.
I've
mean,
heard that once you get about 110, though, they get a little like a little shaky, and it's just because of the fucking body design.
Well, yeah. It's not does it's not a
Don't know.
yeah. It's not a a sport
I bet-
bike per se.
I've
I
been
hear.
on a
I
ra-
hear
I've
you
been
get
on
to
a
the 110
Radian.
real quick on it. That's what.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes, you
my
do.
my instructor when I got my license, he had one, street strip. Old guy. He let me ride it, and I'm like, damn, why you got this big ass gauge here and this there? He goes, you would not believe what it would do in a quarter mile.
Well,
No, I
that's
bet.
what I find.
I go,
is
you race it? He goes,
some of those
"Yep."
older dudes, like
Yep.
they want those big,
Yep.
powerful bikes.
Well, it's
because
a- it- it's a-
they've reached that stage.
It's
you
a
know?
cruiser. I mean, before the M109 came out, that was your cruiser crotch rocket.
All right, so you got
Best of both worlds in one bike.
$1 million, right? You got $1 million, and you can buy whatever motherfucking bike you want in time. What would you get?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
That's why I asked. It.
No.
Yeah, right. Black with a 31-inch front wheel.
Honestly, I would get. I don't know
Just
what
pissed off
year
another
it
group
is.
of people. Yeah.
Was it Galloping Goose or Booze Runners?
Booze fighters.
Booze fighters.
Booze Fighters,
Yeah.
where they all have that old like 40-something style Harley Davidson with
Well,
the
actually,
with the push rods that actually you can see the oil running down them and
the
shit.
first bike that did that though is a Crocker.
Yeah.
A Crocker was
Yeah,
the
but these
first
guys
big
got
beach win
something
out
where
there.
in their their thing
Oh yeah.
that they have to have this style thing, and they have the articulated.
Somebody on the Facebook page, look it up and post it for us, please.
Sidecar. So when you lean, the wheel on the sidecar leans.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, well, so
I want to say it was them because there's like
answer the fucking question. What bike would you get?
that
All
one.
factual
That one.
statements are made.
That one.
Yeah.
That bike.
I
Whatever
looked it
that
up on the internet. Must
Yeah.
be true. I
Yeah.
saw it on
whatever that
Facebook.
bike is, that bike.
Okay. Dirty?
Oh man.
God, I think it's a 42.
Honestly.
No. Fucking lie to me. I love it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Second runner up, Easy Rider.
Okay. Fair enough.
God,
Peanut tank.
any amount of money. What? Well, see, because there's the want, and then there's the realistical want,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, so you want a chopper, so you'll settle
All right,
for
you're Jay
a
Leno.
CB900, a CB900 Honda Jalopy, like they used to do with the fucking
Oh.
they'd make their own like little header, just rip
Yeah.
the fucking mufflers off,
Yeah.
throw out that big rake, and man, they got a machine.
Any
I can
amount of
see
money.
Dirty riding a big rake machine. I could, like,
Any which way but loose.
20-foot front end.
There's already there's works because there's shit that I'm gonna do and I know it, but when I think of if I won the lottery, it'd be something I would never buy because I couldn't afford it type deal. God, I don't know. I would. Those fucking new Ducatis are fucking ridiculous.
The 999.
No, I fucking forgot what it is, but just the technology that's involved in
man.
that, and it's got like a $60,000-$70,000 price tag. I would never buy that. No. First of all, no bank in the world is going to give me a loan for that fucking motorcycle. They're smarter than that. But
Try imagining how much a custom Ducati, like Michael Jordan,
See.
say, would buy.
well, I don't have Michael Jordan money.
Right.
So-
He's got fuck you money, and then there's
See.
fuck you money behind the fuck you money.
But you're going strictly performance. Like, what could I take that money and get the best possible? Like me, I'm more for nostalgia. I would probably buy I'd want like that 1936 Crocker V-twin, the first one that was
Right,
making
right.
the big power and the V-twin, with the horsepower.
I mean, yeah, me personally, you can go down the list. Oh, I want a panhead. I want a fucking knuckle. I want this. I want that.
It'd be great to have a collection.
And
Well, I
let's
mean-
be realistic. I personally, I have a really hard time buying something and leaving it the fuck alone.
Yeah,
Really hard time.
that was my point I was going to make too.
Right.
I owned 7 motorcycles at one point in time.
Right. And it's every fucking car, bike, truck, whatever. If I owned it, I have done things to it to change it to make it the way I want it to be.
But you got to ride them.
Well, yeah.
No,
you
that's
can't
my-
let them sit.
That's the
Or-
other point
or
I
you're
was going to
fucked.
say too. Is I wouldn't want to buy one that's already like done. I'd want to buy that bike there and try to restore it so I could get to know it.
Sure.
Does that
But-
make sense?
That
No,
makes
and my
sense.
point is that, I mean,
But I would like to rebuild it right to
it's
factory. on that,
within the
you know.
realm of possibility for me to own any one of those bikes that Harley's ever made. It's within the realm. Do I have 10 grand to drop on some basket case panhead? No. I might someday. I could get rear-ended. Get that neck money.
Oh, my
Yeah.
neck, my neck.
Oh shit! That neck money don't go very far. let me tell you.
you would know. You would know.
But hey, everything's paid off, and my bike is badass, man.
Yeah, no, it's fucking it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I can't wait to see it.
Oh my god!
Can't wait to see
I
it.
got it back right before it got cold, and I rode that fucker as much as I could.
Yeah,
man,
you were
but
telling me about it when I talked to you when I was in Florida.
I am glad it's all paid off.
Right on.
I got a ton of shit done to it. It's my bike now, and I'm happy.
That's actually, I think, the key to owning a motorcycle is truly owning it. Because if you're paying for that thing on time, that's a different type of ownership. And I'm not bashing against that, but I'm just, when you own it outright, I don't know, man. It's like a different set of rules,
Yeah. And then I got to, I had some money to play with, and I got to do exactly and everything I wanted to do that I imagined that I was going to do someday. I always got that someday, and that someday was a few months ago. So I'm very happy with it.
I got to say, brother, you come a long way since when I first met you. You were on that yellow and purple Gixxer,
Hey, I love that bike. I love that bike so much. That was the second one that I've owned.
and I
That same year.
I remember
too.
I was recently patched into the club and like, hey, thinking about coming our way? No. I love my sport bike. No, I'm fine right where I'm at. And
I would still own it if Troy wouldn't have made me that ridiculous offer, and because I priced it so high that I didn't want to sell it. I wanted to keep it.
Yeah.
And hey, it was a 1991 750. He offered me $2,500. Who's going to say no to that?
Wow, yeah, that age, you're lucky to get a buck of CC.
Right.
At
I
that
mean,
age,
I think that thing was probably worth Blue Book $2,700 in perfectly
In mint condition, yeah.
under 10,000 miles. This thing had 30-some thousand miles, probably 1,900 on my best day, 15 if I'm lucky.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well,
The Ducati I was talking about is called the Panigale V4R. 234 horsepower out of the box.
so that's the bike Dirty wants to die on. Just to let you know,
I would be, a greasy
a
spot.
greasy spot.
The old lady's set for life, yada, yada, yada. But,
That would be a very nice bike.
yeah,
But-
234 horsepower on a bike that weighs 365 pounds.
But I would rather go with its competition, the new Aprilia.
Yeah. But how many Aprilia dealers are there around here? Aha, that's my point. Because I'm going to ride to some bitch probably across country to try to see how fast I can go. Because if I bought that bike cash, chances
Honestly,
are I'm not working anymore.
Right,
do you know
right.
what? Honestly, I don't think there is a dealer in the States. I think you have to order it from like
Aprilla?
yeah, I think you
No,
have to
there
order
is.
that from
No.
like an
They sell
exotic dealer, wouldn't you?
Well, there's dealers that sell Aprilla here. In Augusta. Augusta V, I think it's a V4.
I was
no,
just gonna say, yeah, Gus is fucking.
yeah, those 1000s. Have you ever seen that movie I, Robot with fucking
Yeah,
Will Smith?
Smith,
He's
yeah.
got one of those. They got the
Oh,
4
man.
pipes, and oh, those are fucking
Those are fucking sweet.
beastly. But I sat on one.
That
At,
didn't sound good.
it's all right. I sat on one at a Chicago bike
It's
show.
just gonna burn a hole in his pocket.
Details.
Here's
yeah,
what's
right,
weird.
Right.
Here's what's weird
Another
about
Satan
those
patch.
those fucking bikes, those pasta rockets, if you will. If they feel so dainty, like it feels like you know when you sit on a fucking Harley, it's like man, it's like a
Right.
fucking it's a dump truck of motorcycles.
Feels nimble.
Yeah, but
What is
fucking,
it? 300.
I meant the bike you're talking.
oh
not
yeah,
not
not a Harley, no.
No,
the
Jesus
first
Christ,
time
no.
I ever rode a Harley, I thought,
65 pounds maybe.
but I mean, yeah, everything is so delicate and it's so, but just the speed alone, the handling, fuck, unmatched.
Well, you know,
Unmatched.
I believe it's Aprilia. They still use the same technology that the Hurricane and the VFR from Honda. Well, they actually got the technology from them.
I don't know.
With the single swing arm, and that's why it handles curves. Like even if you got like waves in the curves.
Well, Ducatis run a single swing arm too.
Right, and the reason why
Triumph did for a
it-
little bit too on their
it
sport bikes.
flexes.
I think they still do.
So if you're going around a curve at high speeds,
Yeah.
the whole like the bike itself flexes over them.
Right. These newer sport bikes have traction control.
Well,
I mean,
my old Gixxer, man, the faster you went, if you have the dampers and your shocks adjusted just right, every 5 miles an hour, you feel that bike squat. It might squat in the back, might squat in the front, depends on what kind of bump you hit.
I think you just needed fork seals.
No, there's adjusters on
No,
it.
I know,
Yeah,
I know.
just amazing. And I didn't know what that was all about until somebody adjusted mine right. And I was like, and I felt that. I'm like, oh damn, yeah, I never felt this on my old 77 900. I mean,
What's funny is we're all
you know,
sitting here, we're talking about, Jap bikes or sport bikes or crotch rockets or whatever you want to call them. And, we appreciate them and we love riding them. But every single guy here sitting at this table rides a Harley
I mean, I've
or
had
a Victory.
I've
Well,
had,
Victory down south, the Harley up
Yeah.
north. Yeah.
Living the good life.
I've had 6 Harleys
well, you
counting
know.
this one.
I've only had 2.
Yeah, me too.
2 of them, almost 3, so we'll say 2.5. I inherited in a box.
Yeah.
It was an old Panhead, 63, 64. I don't even know what the half of one was. I figured out how to take some parts and made one bike,
Yep.
and that was cool.
That's what I love about Harleys, man.
That was the first bike I ever
Simple.
put together.
I love the fact that Harleys are simple. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
I love the fact it's got a push rod motor. It's no crazy ass shit. It's simple.
Oh yeah, anything to fix on that, any of my sport bikes,
Yeah.
any of my Jap bikes, period. It was a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's because of the small hands.
You think that's what it is?
Yeah, Japanese people have small
I
hands.
just can't figure out their thinking sometimes. Like, why do you have to do all this craziness with chains?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's too many camshafts. But well, we've talked
I
about.
do know what does not work on a chain.
What's that?
When you lose that Jesus clip or that old holy
Yeah.
shit clip,
Yeah.
and you try to use some copper wire,
Really? Doesn't
solid
work?
wire, it worked for me. Didn't work for the fat man I sold it to.
Wow. So that wasn't like a quick fix to get home. That was a forever fix.
Quick,
huh?
that was a quick fix to trade that thing for
Nice.
the 900.
Nice.
I didn't know he was gonna ride it.
Got anything
Yeah.
else for sale?
Do you know what? He should have checked it. He should have had a safety
Yeah.
inspection done.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't do
let's-
it a chain. I've used a paper clip to hold brake pads in before.
Now that would probably work better than copper.
I saw a picture on the internet that had somebody using zip ties for a master link.
I saw that too.
Whatever gets you home, man.
Whatever gets you home.
God, what the hell was it that I seen? Well, okay, funny story. This guy's stuck in the snow years ago. I'm in the truck with my boss. We go to pull him out. He's got a Ford Thunderbird, the old 80s style. So I had the big long nose, fiberglass front end, right?
Yeah.
I go to get underneath the car, put the strap on there. He goes, "Oh no, man, the strap's got a hole in it and everything." Here, he opens up the hood. He stuffs it down behind the radiator and everything, big old wide spot, and he wraps it around the whole front end of this car. I'm going, Bosco's let him do it because he knows what's going to happen. And I'm sitting there looking at that, man, like, we're ripping something off today. You know what happened? He went to go pull him out, and that whole thing cinched up. All that car, like, it just ripped right through that fiberglass, right to the bumper support.
Nice.
He did get pulled out, and you know what? That was a nice looking car. That guy gets out, and he undoes it. And he goes, "Oh well, at least I'm out of the ditch." Yeah. People.
Some people got that kind of money.
So my point is,
What's that?
You have a point? Well, get to it.
if it sounds stupid, because we've all done stupid stuff, let the person that owns it do it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I had a point. I had to think about
No,
it.
no.
That was right off the top of my head, but
I have Afro-engineered many mechanical thing myself.
Hebrew technology.
I had a '72 Dodge Dart, with the old slant six. Probably best motor Mopar ever made.
Leading tower power.
Yeah, just keep oiling them. Don't let them get dry.
That's
318.
But I remember blowing out a torsion bar on it.
right.
Boom, went off like a shotgun. Of course, I got no money, so I'm hitting the bumps, and of course, it sounded like a jackhammer every time. So me and a buddy got the bright idea. Well, we need to put a shim in there just to hold it in place. And so I took a 2x4, fucking Scouts honor, man, and cut this little 2x4 block that would fit up in there. And then I took zip ties all around it one way and then all around it the other way.
Oh, wow.
And then duct taped that motherfucker all the way around and stuck it up in there. And that lasted almost a month.
Wow.
Yeah, until it finally went, and my dad had seen that all of it happened and grabbed the car and went and got it all welded back up again, then called me a dumbass for...
It worked for a month.
It worked for a month, man. We tried rocks in the beginning. Those didn't work too well.
No.
But, I also remember having an old 65 Mercury Comet with my brother, and the armature for the clutch had bent.
Yeah.
And so we had like a box of clutch springs we got from the boneyard. And
Yeah.
every now and then it'd snap one, and one of us, whoever was in the passenger seat, would climb underneath the car at the intersection. Boom, put the spring back on again, and away we'd go, It was a different world back then, man.
Well, me and a buddy of mine, we stole some...
We're talking about stupid shit we've done here with cars and mechanical crap, folks.
I had an 81 Cutlass Supreme, and
I had a 76.
it was pretty fast, and everything. And we went to the junkyard and stole some Krager SS with some slicks on it. Well, come to
Electrical
find
stuff.
out, I didn't have no money for no air shocks or nothing. So my dad had a 2x4 in the garage, and cut it, and that had coil springs in the back. We jacked that fucker up, put two 2x4s in
Oh,
there.
yeah.
2 in there, jack that thing right up, and had that much clearance.
Yeah.
Whatever gets you down the road, man.
Well, I tell you what, I wish I would have used a harder wood though, because they snapped.
Yeah.
And I was grinding all the way home back. Hey, guess what? They weren't slicks no more. They had one groove. in
Nice.
each tire.
Like a nice red maple burl or something.
Yeah, yeah.
That makes them legal.
I remember when
Yeah.
I went and did a burnout with them, and you ever see those videos that they advertise or that they put on YouTube? 800 horse and a big old coal burning fucking Cummins,
Yeah.
and the tire blows up. Well,
Yeah.
guess what? A 262 V8 with smog control and a 1981 Cutlass Supreme can do the same thing.
Well,
All you gotta do is put grooves in it. Boom, boom. It's a
Just
bleach.
like-
It's a
just-
bleach.
when people are like, does your motorcycle do a wheelie? Every motorcycle can do a wheelie if you're determined.
Hey, that little 50 Trail Boss used to do a wheelie.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, you're right. Hell, you could do a wheelie on a moped.
yeah,
I have.
yeah.
Yeah. I used to have a Honda Spree, and I took it off of a jump. Guess what? Your shock don't work no more. After that.
I was going to
Now
say.
it's a rigid.
Yeah.
Try riding a rigid 47cc that can't go barely over 52 miles an hour on a tire that tall. You know, that tall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it down in Florida. I see a lot of people riding them scooters around, those little 150cc scooters.
Oh, like a Honda Ruckus or something?
I don't know, just those,
Okay,
those little scooters, you know, that you don't have
Right.
to have a license for.
Oh, okay.
But I got to give those people credit. I mean, I don't have any respect because they're not on a big bike, but by the same token, they're riding around on them goddamn roads out in traffic on those tiny little scooters. I mean, that
Yeah.
takes some big balls to do that. You
Why-
can't even get out of your own way for crying out loud. And they're out there in traffic. And
I've never
motherfuckers, so-
understood mopeds as far as like, why wouldn't you just get like a motorcycle?
Right.
Oh, well,
Like-
there's a big law thing there because I remember like back when I was a teenager. No, that's when sprees first came out.
Right, but
and they were popular as hell because they were a 48 or 47cc, so they're under that law where
Yeah.
you could be 13 to have one, but you had to have headgear. You could not go on any roads, I think, higher than 35 miles an hour. or
The
something
only
like that.
the only law I know of is you
Maybe it
have to
was
have a driver's license.
Maybe it was 14 or 15, but check the CC deal.
No, you had to have a driver's license. You didn't need a motorcycle endorsement if it was under 50 cc's.
Now it is. I'm talking back
Oh, I wasn't there.
when the rubber knife gangs existed. Because I
Oh.
was like,
The mods and the rockers.
I was not the leader. I made Proby, but I never
No.
finished.
Can't talk about
I didn't
it.
have a big enough blade on my rubber handle.
he's like back in Quadrophenia days. With
Right.
The whole,
Wow.
Sting, you know.
I did
on his
have a Honda
scooter,
Raz
bus
though at
boy.
one time too, with no
Did you?
muffler. Oh my god, that thing sounded like it was raping a grape ape, but they weren't doing shit.
Yeah.
I once knew a guy that put a 50 shot of nitrous on his moped. Guess what? It blew up.
I wonder why.
It blew up.
So you were gonna say what didn't you understand about mopeds?
Oh, well, I mean, it's kind of one of those vibes where I'm like, you know, okay, I understand if you're a college student and you're just bebopping around on campus, but like if you're a grown ass man driving to and from work every day and you've got a fucking moped with a fucking lunchbox strap, dude, just get a goddamn motorcycle.
I know.
You look silly. Nobody who's a
think that's
full blown
so
adult.
crazy, man. They got this
Man.
little 50 fucking thing,
Yeah.
a big old guy, strap a guy on it, and then he's got a trunk.
Yeah.
It's a cute
Yeah,
Like,
little
a
don't
little
just get a
tiny little
motorcycle,
tour pack,
man.
And
Yeah.
that's an accessory you got to buy separate. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
What section of JP Cycle or catalog is that in?
Right. I think it's J.C. Whitney.
JC Whitney. Yeah,
J.C. Whitney
yeah.
on the upside down
It's right
pages.
next. It's right next to the base lights
Right.
and the air shocks for your '86 Cutlass. But yeah,
I never ever did get air shocks for that car, by the
it
way.
had glass packs, so didn't it?
Cherry bombs.
Cherry bombs.
No.
No, you had the big money. You got the turbo mufflers.
No.
No.
That had a Camaro muffler on it because the Camaro muffler,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So it fit up in there.
Nice.
But I also had cutouts on my headers once I put a 396 in it.
Yeah.
And that had no back brakes.
So
man.
you really have been a motoring dumbass for a long time.
and self-taught.
Self-taught.
Yeah, that was my point, brother.
Seriously, I would go. These guys would be all talk about how expensive a Chilton book was and all this shit, and I'm like, dude, the
Exactly.
library's got Ham's books, man.
Yeah.
They're just as good.
Xerox
And guess what?
machines.
It costs you nothing.
Well, nickel a copy.
And as long as you can read big bold letters, because for some reason mechanic books are always bigger, bolder print,
Small words.
and they use words you can understand. Yeah,
Yeah.
But shit, nowadays, I mean,
Google.
just go onto
Yeah.
YouTube and everybody's got a how-to on it, everything on
Yeah.
YouTube.
There's a video to do anything on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
How to.
Yep.
It's amazing. Some of it's like super, super legit. Like, trade schools putting out videos,
Well,
showing you how to do
There's
whatever
some
you want
stuff
to do.
that I, and I'm sure you've done it. I already have, say, change of brake pads, we'll say. I know how to do it. Done it 100 times. but maybe there might be an easier way to do something
Oh, yeah.
that you think is a pain in the ass.
Sure.
Dude, Google it. You will find 15 different fucking ways to do, and
And then read the comments.
yeah,
Because then the guys will say, well, I tried that, but then this happened and that happened.
right. The
and
forums.
the
I like
forums.
going on forums.
Sure,
you know?
sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's always that one guy that's gonna be an asshole that just doesn't like anybody's
There's
shit,
more than
but-
one guy.
right. But I mean, for the most part, I mean, I don't know, my last truck when I got my exhaust on it, dude, I went through YouTube videos to see what they sounded like and
Yeah.
prices and all that shit. Hey, guess what? I went out and bought Flowmaster
Cool.
because of the, what Google can do for you. I mean, I hate technology. I really do. I like old school shit, man, but
Yeah.
once you stop breaking the computer, hey, it's pretty cool.
Hey man, it's just like motorcycles. We had Miho in here the other day, and he's talking about his carbureted motorcycle that he had. Like it was some sort of like,
Yeah.
I had a carbureted
carbureted, yeah,
motorcycle.
yeah.
Like it was a big deal. And to him, it probably was because it was the first carbureted, the only
But isn't he
carbureted.
pretty young?
Yeah.
He's kind of young compared to us.
Well, yeah,
So he probably don't know. I mean,
but I'm just saying, it's
he doesn't strike me as super mechanically inclined unless it comes to a heater or air conditioner.
But my point is, it's like in 20 years, a carbureted motorcycle will be so fucking antique.
Wow.
There will be guys that have zero fucking knowledge about them.
Yeah.
You'll go to shops and they'll look at your car and be like, I ain't working on that. I don't know where do I plug my laptop into.
Yeah. That last job I had driving, they hired a kid as a mechanic right out of school. We have all old shit. I bet
Yeah.
you they never even covered that in the textbook.
Oh.
Sure shit. He gets in there. He goes, "Where do you hook up the computer?"
Yeah.
Again, I mean, we had fuel pumps, not injection.
Well, and that's-
not
and that's-
electronic injection. I mean, it's all old shit. You don't hook up a computer.
And what's the odds that he's going to find another job where everybody's got old shit? That's they're not going to teach it in school because it's obsolete technology. Nobody's going to use it. That's why you go to a Harley dealership looking for parts for, say, a 2000 Dyna, and they're going to look like, yeah, we don't have any of that.
Right.
I mean, they have some stuff, but because some stuff carries over. But like, I remember when I first got that bike, I was looking for oh god damn it was a jet kit. I forget the name brand I was looking for, and they were like, yeah, we don't have that. You're gonna have to go somewhere else.
MrCycleparts.com.
Yeah. Oh, they told me to go across
well,
the
if
street.
all, if
No,
all,
well, do you know about MrCycleparts.com?
I don't know about Mr. Cycle
It's
Parts.
it's a search engine.
Is it really?
It is.
really,
And what it does is that you put whatever part you need. So I'm looking for this. This is what I want, and it goes out to like 1,300 different,
right?
Parts and-
Anybody,
parts and
so
boneyards
anybody
that are
that's got that part in their database.
and then they all respond back to you, and then you're able to pick and choose. And a lot of guys have picked up old gaskets and
I
seals
gotta
and
say
shit
that
they
is
need.
that,
So
that is a good thing about technology, but at the same time, I mean, my high school years, I grew up in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
I'm sorry.
It was exciting at points because I'll tell you what. Do you know what Indiana? I mean, everybody goes to Indiana for car parts.
That is a true statement.
I mean, dude, in Fort Wayne,
Yeah.
Indiana, we had 5.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird.
We had 5 legit huge junkyards within. This was just on the south side of Fort Wayne.
Yeah.
And it was crazy. I mean, that's what we used to do on a Saturday. We used to smoke a joint, park the car in the parking lot, make sure we fed the fucking angry dog that's tied up that looks like he's got mange and fucking rabies and wants to tear you up, and we go walking around fuck junkyard.
My older brother and I rebuilt a 1965 Corvair van. Yeah, we built that motor, and we did that. Yeah, back roaming around junkyards and.
My very first car that I never really got to license or anything was a 71 Nova SS. I bought the whole thing out of a junkyard. And me and my buddies, my dad, he okayed it, and that's what we did. I mean, fuck, we'd go to a junkyard just to go to a junkyard and come out of there with shit that we never was even looking for. It's just cool,
Yeah.
you know.
Well,
I don't know.
We've covered everything on this podcast. I think this is probably our best one yet because it makes absolutely no sense whatsoever.
Definitely Seinfeld-esque.
It really is. I mean, we've talked about being truck drivers and motorcycles and junkyards and putting 2x4s and coil springs and cutlasses.
So on the way here, my cab of my truck was kind of like the. You remember that movie with
You
Cheech and
drove a
Chong?
truck here? You're not a real biker, dude.
Yeah, I know it's kind of
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
It's 22 degrees.
So
out
what,
today.
man? I'll
I
fucking,
am not right. Well, I came from Beloit, not my house. So I mean, if I came from my
Oh,
house,
so
I
what,
might have
dude?
rode
I'll
my
Let's
bike.
do an experiment. All right, go on your phone, post on the Bikers Lifestyle Facebook page,
Oh, don't do it.
and say
Don't you do it. Don't you goddamn do it. No, but
you're
So-
not a real biker.
You're
'cause
not a
you
real
don't know
biker.
this."
So that Cheech and Chong movie, Up in Smoke, where they're parked and he rolls down the window and
It's on the back,
smoke,
man.
and the smoke
Yeah.
just rolls out.
Isn't on the
He
back
goes,
of the
he goes,
car.
he
Yeah.
goes, hey man, I hope we're driving okay. He
So
goes, man, I think we're fucking parked. Now the
Think
smoke
we're
comes out.
parked,
Well, so
man.
my truck looked like that when I don't know why, but so I'm gonna have to go back through and just watch this podcast just so I can remember everything because I don't remember shit that we just said today.
this is my first podcast I've ever done sober.
Actually, that's true. It is.
Nice.
That's true. That's a true thing.
Oh, I'm sober.
In fact, we have one podcast out there. No, Gopher.
I ran into a skunk.
We've got the first one we ever did. Has never seen the light of day, and he and I are the only two who've ever seen it
Oh.
Yeah.
because he doesn't remember.
Wasted. Wasted.
Yeah, and we'll just leave
No,
that one at that.
I enjoyed it, man.
So those that want to actually make a little bit of extra money for us, I'll take $15 per person. We'll get you the link so you can see the. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that.
Oh no, it can't
No,
be
that
for
that's
sale for the right
I
price.
deleted it. It's been buried.
And
Oh,
I
well.
do have a new book coming out called
Yeah,
Jokes for the You Are Not a Biker.
yeah.
I'll be posting it on
Oh.
Biker's Lifestyle
Oh,
this
perfect.
week.
Yeah,
Nice. Well, I suppose.
you're not a real biker.
Yeah.
So I guess
for
the,
all
the admins are
two
gonna be
people
real
that are
busy
still
putting some
listening
guys
to
in
this.
jail.
Yeah, no shit.
Nice.
No shit for our two fans out there.
for our two fans that stuck through this whole video.
Oh, it went down to 2.
Yeah.
Well, we had three.
We lost
So the
one
guy
after.
doesn't like skunks because I run him over.
No, we had this
No.
controversial guest today. Wouldn't fucking stop talking about trucks and putting
It's
2x4s
fine.
in for. No.
Hey,
Nah, we've been great, dude. It's been great
It's
talking
no,
to you.
fuck it.
not everybody can be me.
No, who?
That's why I
exactly.
enjoy life, man. 'Cause
Yeah.
I would hate to fucking run into me.
Dude, don't say the smartest thing to say it for the last thing to say. 'Cause-
Well, why not? I
I
gotta go out with a
suppose.
bang.
There you go.
I do like to blow shit up.
No, because Dirty always asks one thing of our guests before we sign off.
I do. Yeah, you got anything to say, like that you want, like out there in the ether for everybody to fucking know?
Don't be a douchebag.
Don't be a dude. That's fucking awesome.
Don't be a douchebag.
Don't be a
all right?
douchebag. I think that's how we're gonna end this.
That sums it up. I'm not even going to say anything after that either. We'll
Do
just
what
Can we
you
use
got-
that
do-
catchlead?
Absolutely. Do what you
Nice.
gotta do. Just don't be a douchebag.
Do what you got to do.
Dirty
don't be a
Take and
douchebag.
Gopher from the BikersLifestylePodcast.com say, don't be a douchebag.
Don't be a douchebag.
Peace.
Right on. Peace.